Hey there guys, so I thought tonight I'll just make a short video on nutrition and basically my take on it and how I approach it. For me, I always try and eat relatively clean. It's never going to be perfect because if you go strict too hard, I find a lot of people just get derailed, but at the same time, it's not an excuse to eat, a whole lot of junk. For me, I have a few staples in my diet which I try and stick to every day. So my biggest one that I have for me is a liter of high protein milk and then 3 bananas. That's typically my first meal of the day. And I don't typically eat until about 1 p.m. is generally when I first start to eat. Um, I used to do intermittent fasting, so I got very used to, fasting until 1 p.m. and then I used to eat from 1 p.m. till 9 p.m. And get all my calories in that way. And it's something that I've just continued to this day. But in the morning, I have my cups of coffee, so it's not really a true fast, but it's something that I'm used to. And it's not something that I really want to change, because if I want to get back into the habit of intermittent fasting and trying to drop my inflammation levels, I find forgoing the coffee in the morning works really well. Another thing, like for meals, in the evening, I'll always try and have some form of red meat. So tonight I had lamb chops, normally it's steak. I find this is really important, especially as competition, prep comes to an end. Like your body's really trying to grow, it's really trying to recover. So you just want to give it really good quality nutrition. I struggle to eat chicken anymore. If I buy a roast chicken, I just can't really eat it anymore. The smell, I've just eaten too much chicken in my lifetime. I can still eat like the chicken thighs or chicken skewers or, KFC, the sort of junk food chicken. But just normal chicken from, the shops, even charcoal chicken, I really struggle to eat these days. It's just, my body doesn't like it. Another thing that I use typically as a staple, and I find, quality protein, it adds up quite quickly. 2 tins of tuna, and then make a toasted cheese sandwich. So in total, there's 4 pieces of bread, 4 slices of cheese, and 2 tins of tuna. So that gets to 1,000 calories pretty quick. I don't have to put in much work. I'll probably have that at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I typically try and train at about 5 or 6. The other I'm not big into snacks, but if I do go down the road of, needing a few snacks, for me, I'll try and just, have 2 apples and leave it at that. Or if it's going to be a particularly heavy training session, I just get 4 of the muesli bars, and I just get the really cheap packet ones. So it's just literally oats and a few choc chips in it. I think I get 8 in a box for $1.90. They're about 125 calories each. They're like a no-name home brand variety. So for me, I typically have 4 of those before training. So if I add up, the milk and the bananas being 1,000, the 500 calorie snack, and then the toasted cheese sandwiches being 1,000, but 2,500, and I really haven't had to try. There's not a lot of junk in total. The sugar, there's a little bit, but nothing over the top by any means. Very cost effective. And then, in the evening, I'll just try and either have red meat, as I said, and then I'll either have some form of veggies to go with it, or possibly a salad. So I just try and keep it really, really simple. I try and avoid, McDonald's and a typical fast food. Every now and again, dessert I enjoy. But if I'm cutting, obviously, I don't have that. If I'm bulking, when I train, I'll typically have something that's higher in carb after training. That's just to help spike the insulin levels a little bit more and get all the nutrients to the cells and just really start to kick-start growth and recovery. Water, obviously, I drink a fair bit of water, probably 2 liters a day. Something that I normally do is just add the pink rock salt into it. I just find salt as an electrolyte is really underrated. And for me, if I'm going for a really heavy session, I find if I drink a liter of water beforehand with a fair bit of pink rock salt in it, it just helps, me hydrate better, I perform better, and I just find it's been something that I really do value. And And again, it's just another very cheap thing to add to water. Not the most flavoursome thing. Sometimes you could add in some cordial, do whatever you want. But yeah, I definitely recommend that as an electrolyte, as it's helps a lot with performance. Other than that, the other big one would be sleep. I try and aim for 8 hours of sleep in the competition prep when I get home. In the afternoon, I'll try and have like a short nap of 30 minutes. I find that makes a big difference. And then apart from that, there's not much else. I'll probably have 4 coffees in total in a day. Coffee acts as it really blunts my appetite, so it suppresses it really quite well. So if I'm cutting, I'll typically have more coffee. If I'm trying to bulk up, I'll try and avoid it, simply because if I have the coffee, as I said, it blunts my appetite. So I find getting more calories in is quite hard. So that's probably my take on nutrition. Keep it clean, keep it simple. Find a few staples that work really well for you as an individual. As I said, mine were the milk and the bananas, and then the toasted cheese sandwiches later on. And I find that's something I can take anywhere. If I need to go to work and pack a lunch, it's really easy and it's really cost effective. So you really don't have much in the way of excuses. You just need to make sure that your evening meal has a little bit more nutrition, and yeah, it's very easy to do, and you're not meal prepping all these meals. So if you guys haven't already, have a look into intermittent fasting. Works really well. I've done that quite a few times. I go for the 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window, and I try not go too carb heavy at the end of it, because typically that's when I'm going to go to bed. So I find if I eat a lot of carbs in the evening right before I'm trying to sleep, I don't get the best quality sleep. But if I go a lot higher in protein, not a problem. So, and then same thing, with fats as well. If it's a higher fat meal, I don't have an issue. Also, try and lean more towards red meat over chicken. It's just chicken doesn't have the greatest micronutrient profile. Compare it to meat, and yeah, meat wins hands down. Yeah, there's a little bit less protein in red meat, but all the other vitamins and minerals you pick up, well and truly worth it. So that's just, my short take on nutrition. If you guys haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Otherwise, have a great day wherever you are.